Hey guys, RC here. This is just going to be, it's not going to be a gameplay video, it's just more an informational video. I know that a lot of you have been recent subscribers to my channel. Much appreciated for that. I just kind of wanted to go over some of the websites for the games that I am playing currently, so you would know where to find them. Also, where to find the games if you're interested. I know I should probably put that in my videos, but as I said, I usually record the video and then I post it, and I don't worry about all the production and the bells and whistles, so I apologize for that. But hopefully this video will help point you in that direction. So the first website we're going to cover is Wolverine Studios. Gary Gorski is the owner and of this company. He's a part-time programmer, graduate of, you guessed it, University of Michigan. I've known Gary not personally, but just through the website and through his games for since he started. Actually, before he started Wolverine Studios, I used to be an alpha tester for him before they went to the pre-release beta testing. Uh, and I just kind of wanted to go through some of the games. So we'll start down here at the bottom because these are some of the older ones. So they have a pro basketball game. They have a golf game. You can actually, this is actually his first release was Total Pro Golf 1, and now they're on the third edition. Pro basketball, they have 2016 and 2017, so there is a new release of that. They also have Pro Football, a 2016 version. That was called, actually, I think that was PFS. It was PFS previously, and then the guy Brooks, the guy that does the football games, got in with Gary, and they merged their resources and talents, and then he re-released that as DDS, Draft Day Sports, which is their sports name. So they have a 2016 Pro Football, and I would expect a 2017 Pro Football, just seeing how their releases have been going and what Brooks has done in past copies of his game. So 2016 is their current pro game. They have front office hockey. Uh, don't know anything about that game. I'm not a hockey fan, so I have never even looked at it. But I've played the golf game. You can actually you create a golfer, go on tour, play courses. You have to upgrade your skills and your gear, and there's sponsorships and everything else in there. So that's if you're into golf, you might like that, and it's one of the few golf games out there outside of like PGA Tour that you have to play on a PlayStation or something. This is on your computer, so uh, definitely check that out if you're a golf fan. And then last but not least, they have college football. Well, no, two things. College football, they just released that this past year. Uh, Very good game. It took me a little getting used to, and that's probably what you guys have been seeing on my channel, which is the game that I'm doing a Let's Play for. And I'm in an online league for that as well. And then they have college and pro basketball, and both of those have new versions out as well. So anyway, if you're interested, the forum site is here. You can click on the link to up here at the top, and that will get you to their main website. You can find a list of their games, the web store, the forums, blogs, just general information. Uh, so you can see the list of games they have here. Face-off hockey. I'm sorry, I thought that was front office hockey, but it's face-off hockey. Um, so a lot of different stuff here that you can come in and check out. Blogs, links to the actual games, and you purchase these through your computer. They're direct downloads, and they you purchase it through via e-license. So that is how to get in touch with Wolverine. One of the other games that I've done some videos on is Bowl-Bound College Football. That comes from Arlie Ron over at Gray Dog Software. Arlie's been around for a long while. My biggest complaint is he takes just too long to put new games out. There's been a huge outcry for a college football game. His came out in 2005, and it's the most recent one until Wolverine put theirs out a couple of months ago. But there are still online leagues utilizing bowl-bound college football, and it's a game that I play every day. Even here 12 years post release. You can take a look down his forums. He has several guys that are programming for his company. Total Extreme Wrestling, probably the most popular game over here, and the most active game. The guy, and I don't remember the guy's name, but the guy, you actually run a wrestling federation and you do all the storylines and plot lines and everything else. Um, and he puts out a new release every year. The same developer also came out with an MMA game along the same lines. You book the events. I have played both of them. The wrestling, I do like wrestling. I go through phases where I'll watch it a little bit, and then I'll go months or years without watching it, and but I pop it on every once in a while just for entertainment value. The MMA, I've become a huge MMA fan. Very good game. You scout fighters, you can recruit fighters, sign them to contracts. You can run a big program like the UFC. You can run a very small, cage fighting, local thing as well. Different budgets means how much you can pay. But if you're into MMA, that one was a very good one. And just like wrestling, you can already see they're on version 4. So that's come out recently, I guess. Honestly, I don't remember. I think it was 3 that I was playing last time. But in addition to that, they have a Finish Line Racing, Imperium Arena of Death. That's kind of like uh, I forget what he called that, but this is kind of not your regular game. Also, they have a Guild of Heroes. That's kind of a superhero game that you can get into. Wrestling Spirit is an older wrestling game before they converted over to Total Extreme Wrestling. Um, and then you have past versions. They do have Fast Break Pro Basketball. You've probably seen I'm doing a let's play with that. I'm also in an online league that uses that game. Another comic book game here. Uh, Previous MMA, previous or that's a pro basketball game. The college basketball is the one I play. Bowlbound, which is my probably out of all these games, probably my favorite one and the one I've put the most time into, just mainly because I've had it for since 2005. And then a lot of past games here, and then so that gives you an idea of the just sheer number of games that Gray Dog has put out over the years. And then each game has its own forum there, and very similar to Wolverine, you can just click on the icon up here. That gets you up to their website. You can browse the games, any news there. You have the football game here. There are demos that you can get. So you can download the demo if you want to of all these games. And there you see Total Extreme Wrestling. Started in '05. Every couple of years, every 2 to 3 years, he's putting out a new edition of that. And they're pretty good about I know he's really good about patching and things of that nature. And World of Mixed Martial Arts. So demos for all the games. Wolverine had the same thing as far as demos. So I will link up the websites for all of these for these sites in the video below in the comments. And then the last one that I've been doing recently is Out of the Park. I've been playing this since version 3, I think. And again, they put out an update every year, so we're up to 18. So I've been playing this one for about 15 years now. I really like 18. I've got a tutorial video series on the game itself. I'm also doing a Let's Play career currently. And again, you can come in here. Now, that's the only game I say it's they did a hockey game. Uh, I'll be honest, I have not heard great things about it. But again, that's from a very limited number of people. But the baseball game is top of the line. Um, I would say it rivals front office manager, the soccer game, uh, football manager, uh, for the best sim out there as far as what it does and what it delivers. And uh, Marcus Heinzen is the owner of this company. Um, they've grown leaps and bounds over the years. Um, probably a very Apple-like story where I think he might have been programming out of his garage, and now they have an actual company with lots of people actually working for them. So they've actually gotten licensed by Major League Baseball, so they have the real players, teams, and logos in the game. You can get those for the other games via mods from the other sites, but it's third-party mods that other people are putting together. They've actually now gotten big enough where they've spent the money. And baseball and the Players Association, they don't do anything on the cheap. So they're evidently doing pretty well. And like I said, I'd say they're the most successful game out there, and maybe the only one that can compete with them is Football Manager. And I'll be honest, I love the game of soccer. I played it growing up, and I don't understand that game. I bought 3 or 4 versions of it and can't play it because I can't figure it out. So it's too in depth for me. There's a lot of depth here, but it's at least easy to understand and get through. Um, so you've got the website here, general discussions from the company for that version of the game, previous versions of the game, other games that they've got going on, all the way down. Um, they had a boxing game. Wow, I didn't even realize that. Inside the Park Baseball. This was cool. This was a one-off. I don't know if they'll ever update that or release it again, but you actually created yourself in the game, and instead of running a team or a franchise, you created your own player and then followed that player's career, where he got drafted, and his results personally. It was kind of interesting for what it was. I thought it had a lot of potential to develop, and but unfortunately they've never gone anywhere else from that. But that may be something they revisit down the line. Earlier versions of Out of the Park. So they've really put everything here. All the mods you can get. Um, so definitely check this out. And just like all the rest, you can click up here on their icon and get to their main website, and that's where you can find the information on their game, download any of the games that you're interested on. OTP is actually available on Steam as well. I think I'm pretty sure Bullbound from Grey Dog is available on Steam as well, and the pro basketball game from Wolverine is a Steam release. So there are a couple of Steam releases here. Everything else is direct download. I will give you the links to all 3 of their websites here, in the video, in the comments below. These guys, these guys do this for mainly for fun. They enjoy and have passion for the game. Like I said, I think Arlie and Gary, it's a part-time thing that they have a passion for. I think Marcus is the only one that actually does this for a living. So there's not enough small developers out there, and even Marcus doing this as a career, you know, let's face it, none of these guys are EA Sports or Sony or anything like that. Um, so it's always nice to be able to support a small business, smaller businesses, and guys that are trying to give us good, high quality games that are fun to play. So I would certainly beseech you if you're looking to buy a game and you're even considering, think about one of these guys, because these are the guys that are just like you and I, that play these games, that have passion for these games, and they're trying to fill a need in a market that none of the big boys want to touch. If you don't have a console, then you can forget it with those guys. So that kind of limits our opportunities, and these three guys are three of the best, and I highly recommend their games. I play a lot of these games, as you can see from my video channel. Um, and I've known a lot of these guys for a long time. So give them a look. I'll put the links below. As I said, all of these games have demos available. Check out the demo, see what you think about it, and like I said, it, even if you spend $30 or $40 for a game, I mean, let's talk about Bowlbound for just a second. I mean, I think I paid $39.95 when it first came out, and I've been playing it for 12 years. I think I've gotten my money's worth. If you break that down to a per hour cost, or whatever, a per year cost, I mean, what, $40 divided by 12 years? I mean, $4 a year. I think any of you would want to pay $4 a year for a game, and like I said, they're very good. So give them a look. Wolverine Studios again, Gray Dog Software, and Out of the Park Baseball. Definitely give them a look. They'll appreciate it. And like I said, I play a lot of these games. These are my three go-to sites, companies for games, for text-based sim games on the computer, and I love them. So thanks for checking the video out. I just kind of wanted to point you guys in the right direction if there was any interest. So take care, and we'll see you next time. Bye.